Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hell We Ride. When we last left off, a lot of really super nice things happened.
Bullshit.
So the group is around a bunch of dead bodies at the moment.
Surrounded by gumdrops and rainbows.
Could you be a little bit more? What's the word I'm looking for here?
Tactful?
They're not just tactful. It's not just a bunch of dead bodies. These are civilians and a very special person to Nix that are corpses on the ground that you made us fight.
No, we just killed a jellyfish that was puppeting them.
Okay, yeah, I'll blame it on the jellyfish.
Fuck the jellyfish.
Need a jellyfish net.
Sorry,
So-
I didn't mean to fully interrupt you there, Scotty.
No, you guys are fine. It was in character in a way. When we last left off, for those that don't know, the group went back to El Toro. It's a lot closer to the River Styx. It's maybe a few hundred feet above it now. It was like half a mile away before. The High Hall, which was the castle of the city, bunch of refugees, about 100 of them, were in the catacombs underneath what was left of High Hall, which had been collapsed and stuff from battle from devils and such. As the Blood War seems to have moved, maybe not all of the front lines, but a good portion of the front lines of the Blood War to El Torel, as the devils are defending the souls that they're going to claim, and my mic's a little on blast. While the devils defend what they got, the demons are trying to take some of the souls for themselves. Because they're demons. Also, it's a bunch of innocent people, and a lot of demons are sadistic, so they just like, yay, more things to torture. So, yeah, the group found what was left of the refugees, as it had been a lot longer time than they thought it was by the time they got back. The holy water that these people were using as sustenance had run out, and it had run out quite a long time ago, and it looks like everybody died down here. They found their old friend, Rhea Mantleborn, who was a Hell Rider in training. They found her body among quite a few of them. The body animated, acted like a deadite from the Evil Dead series. I was brain farting there. Unfortunately, the group had to desecrate the corpse because it was already being even more desecrated than anything they could ever do. And then a weird demon called a Dybok, a weird ethereal like jellyfish demon with a kind of like a face on it on the central mass, came out of the body, and the group quickly slayed it. And I think as you were over top of the dead body, Nix would have heard, "And this is why we fight demons," in his head.
Yep.
And that's where we left off. Okay, recap over. On the dead body next to you, well, this is not on the dead body anymore, but the Holy Avenger Sword was on the ground nearby. Rhea has splint mail armor that has embroidered on it the Hell Rider logo. And you notice that in one of her hands that is still clasped together with rigor mortis appears to be some kind of token or some kind.
As gently as possible, and if it is what Nix thinks it is, they'd want to get the item that she's clutching.
With rigor mortis, it's like they've solidified closed. So
yeah, it's gonna break fingers, break bones.
You're able to get out of it a badge for the Hell Riders, made of brass and gold.
Does anybody care if Nix takes that?
No, Brakka's just gonna just let him do that and just gently close Rhea's hand back.
Yeah.
Just
So take the badge and would I be able to hook it on the armor, like in plain sight, or would it only go on like a belt or something?
It has a little loop-de-loop thing for like if you had a string or something.
like maybe it'll make it a necklace.
Well, I know what I can do with the bandana. No, I need to keep the bandana the way it is.
Brakka will look at you and go, wait, what are you thinking? With just looking at the badge.
Either on my torso or on the belt.
She'll put her hands together and just like pinch her fingers, her index and thumbs together, and then just pull apart and Druid craft like some sort of vine to try and make it into a necklace for Nix.
Okay, with Druidcraft, I would say you easily make that.
Neat.
They
That
just
is greatly appreciated.
put it over their head, mindful of any like horns or frills.
Very appreciated.
As you put it on, you hear, Nix. Nix.
Do I recognize the voice?
No, it sounds spooky.
Huh. Great. Another artifact that talks to me in my head.
Suddenly appearing next to all of you is Rhea Mantlemorn.
I thought you said I didn't recognize the
But
voice.
she's bluish and transparent.
Can anybody else see her?
Everybody sees this.
Yeah.
Nix goes to hug her.
You can hug her, but it's cold.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't tell me I just face planted on the ground. I am happy to hug.
Ghosts in 5th edition can choose when to be corporal.
Don't.
Brakka's going to join in hugging Rhea and just sort of like bite back tears a little bit and just go. Just there's no real words besides that she's sorry.
She doesn't really show much emotion on her face. The most she shows is a slight smile when Nix hugs her.
Don't.
Can we do something?
Did you find a way to free the city?
Technically, we're basically beelining it to Zariel at this point. I have her sword.
We have something we can probably offer in as an exchange. We'll just have to get it back.
Before I died, an imp came down here and told me that Thavis Krieg, the High Overseer, has been reincarnated as a devil down here.
Really? Brakka's grip on her club kind of tightens a little bit.
Do you know who that is?
Like he was the one who signed the contract.
Immediate
that's right.
flashback to everybody being in Van Thumper's basement of the mansion, and you just hear like in the arms of an angel as it's just like all focusing on your mahogany table killing the fat high overseer guy.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Yep, that's the only way I can remember him. Underneath a mahogany table.
Mm-hmm. He died as he lived at a desk.
Screaming? Oh. Okay, so that's something to look out for.
Right. Do you think we could, like, he's a way we could get to her? Brakka's is going to ask Rhea.
I don't know, but it seems like all the devils here are defending the city. We would have been overrun if it wasn't for them, as much as I don't want to admit it.
if he's reincarnated as one, he's probably sent them in, either of his own volition out of some twisted form of just attachment to the city, or as part of some order from Zariel. Small blessings, I guess, even in a place like this.
If you can call it that.
Exactly.
I can take you to her.
Oh, Chris.
Looking
there
over
you
to your side, you see now the ice devil just seem to appear in front of you.
Just gonna look between them. Rhea, Chris, Rhea.
Gonna test me here, aren't you?
You're the one
That was
that
my
decided to use
intention.
this.
That was my intention, but
Surprised you haven't been turned into a Lamar yet.
I'm surprised they haven't killed you.
Right?
Yay, she's still sassy.
strange bedfellows. He offered us a deal in exchange for his life. We managed to get him the one that doesn't screw us too bad. He might even be a ticket to talk to Zariel.
And we haven't told you about the possessed doll we carried for a long time, though.
A lot has
Oh.
happened while we've been looking for the sword.
Well, I'm pretty sure in this state I won't be able to hold that sword. She says, looking down at the Holy Avenger.
Would you mind if we put it to use then?
At least protected from getting into the devil's hands. If nothing else.
We can do that.
Just smirks and side eyes Chris. Crystallizar? What is his name?
Crystallis.
Crystallis just smirks and side eyes Crystallis. Wonder if they would actually explode if they try to touch it, though.
With his insectoid face, you can't really see any different facial expressions from him to see if he's disgusted by that thought or otherwise.
So the question then becomes, is Mr. Krieg closer, or would it be quicker to go towards Zariel?
Let's see.
Let's see.
And Crystallis forms a snowball in his hand. And sprouting up from the snowball, you see a very familiar looking ice imp, snow imp. It might not be the same snow imp, but you know it's from the same area, at least, of hell. And he just looks at it, and then he sends it off.
So it seems like Zariel's been keeping him in her flying fortress.
Oh, look at that. Sounds like they're both right there together.
Indeed.
My theory is she has him locked up until the city has sunken into the river Styx.
After that, what happens to him? Promotion?
He's already been promoted. He's an Abrizu, one of the higher level devils. Same rank as me, as much as I don't like that.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Abrizu, you would know from your Candlekeep studies that they are kind of like a fat, almost mage-like looking devil with tiny little wings. They get greenish skin. They have this whip that is really powerful for a whip. Like it does a bunch of psychic damage and stuff, and they're known for like their commanding magics. They're like the slave drivers of the devils to the devils, where they're like, "You get back to work," you know.
Explains how he's able to get an army here so quickly.
All right. So how do we get there?
Looks to Chris. You said everyone knows where she's at. Does that mean she's close?
It means she's always where the front lines are.
So she should be either in the city or at least her fortress is positioned close to it.
Or she's right below us.
Yeah.
Dun,
She
dun,
was-
dun.
If she was below us, though, then the fortress should be sunk into the sticks.
We're that close.
I can take you right to her command deck on the Flying Fortress. But I must warn you, I cannot take you back out.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. We'll either succeed in our mission or die where we stand.
Fair enough.
Should we take a rest to get our forces back, though?
Yeah.
Long rest? Yes, I think we all need a long rest.
Hi, it's me, Lulu. Yeah, let's have a rest. Wee.
Brakka's gonna just hug Lulu and just give her a little pet.
You.
Hmm.
Oh.
Does Rhea do anything when she sees Lulu, or Lulu anything when she sees Rhea?
Lulu looks sad, and Rhea looks indifferent. She always seems like she's staring off into nothing. Even when she's looking right at you, Nix, she seems to be looking right through you.
I mean, ghost. So it's not insulting. It's kind of expected.
So, what kind of rest are you guys taking? A long rest, short rest,
I think long is probably
Long
our best bet.
rest.
a snack
Right.
break? Just pull out a abyssal chicken wrap, and you're good to go in 5
I
minutes.
mean, yeah. Is
A
there
natural
any?
hot abyssal chicken wrap?
Go for some official chicken fingers, though. It probably just seems like my thing.
Any of you have like beer, wine, or something? Because this might as well be our last night. So
Well, I guess we could try and find some place with. Oh, we probably don't have any food. The food here's probably just been cleaned out.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be very tactful to have a feast around all the emaciated corpses to begin with.
Actually, can we look around and see if there's anything we can scavenge, like supplies or material components wise?
Sure. Give me an investigation.
I'm going to also, before Brakka does anything investigation wise, she just puts a hand onto her bear claw and just whisper her bear claw necklace and just whispers, "Give me insight," and she's going to cast guidance on herself. Yeah, even with this, it's not going to be much. That was a 2. It's the 6 with the guidance. Yeah.
You don't really find anything edible.
Right. Not in or just like material components wise for spells, like anything in the temple or anything like that. Probably not with that roll.
I would say enough for one casting of ceremonies worth of powdered silver. That's pretty much it.
I don't know if there's anything in my.
That's 25 gold worth of silver dust.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in my arsenal that I could use that for. I was more hoping for a nice jewel bowl, but
And most of the place is destroyed.
yeah, makes sense. Let's find somewhere either here or close by that we can set up for the night and head out in the morning.
So you guys find a building to rest in, and
Before we do, should we do anything with Rhea's remains and the priests or anybody else in here? It might take a long time.
bury them, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were going to bury them from last time.
Bury them where? They're all going to end up in the sticks, regardless.
No offense, but that's kind of cold, even coming from you. It would at least show at least a little bit of respect here.
I don't have respect for the weak.
Says the one who gave up when he was getting his ass kicked.
It made more sense at the time.
Plus, from his viewpoint, they're not gone. They're going to be if we fail, they're going to be part of his legion or whatever. If they go to him, but they're probably going to go to Zariel, so he just didn't see any point.
Well, they won't be my legion, but some of them might go to Mephistopheles. Asmodeus usually keeps it fairly well rounded. Which Lemurs go to which legions?
Brakka just points at him, just like, see.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Brakka actually wants to check the priests, effects.
You find her robes, and you find her holy symbol, to Torm.
Brakka is just going to take the holy symbol, put it in her hands, and just fold her arms over her chest and just close her eyes. And just sort of just like they say, thank you for your sacrifice to these people. Let's hope it wasn't in vain.
You notice, for the first time since you've been here, a very eerily calm. When you normally sit at prayer, you always feel like, someone's listening. But this time, you're not sure. Long rest. Okay, so you guys get your long rests. And, Crystallis is like,
Her flying fortress, from what I could tell from my imp servants, is going to be heading to a Steigen dock soon to fill up on souls as fuel. We'd be able to meet her there.
as good as a plan as any. Yeah, as good as a plan as any. There we go.
Yeah, let's go save the world.
Right.
I guess we all just head out like in a line, back-to-back badass poses, like walk to Arlong Park style for one piece.
Oh yeah.
You realize Nick still hovers, right?
And Lulu's hovering too. I'm just saying, just for context.
Hovers or
And
flutters?
Shut up.
It's good for the lineup that you fly, because the rest we are kind of dull.
I flutter.
Don't encourage him.
I love how Lulu is actually on the screen.
So, you're all willing to be affected by a spell from Crystallis, right? He's going to teleport you.
Right.
Hesitant, but yes.
Okay.
Is this going to be tingly?
Only for a moment.
And just like that, you are all frozen solid and sink into the ground. And then reappear where he teleported you. As I just gave him a nice little unique animation for it.
Nice.
Because why not? Not just because everyone has the same kind of spells doesn't mean they cast them the same way.
Yeah.
So when we arrive, are we de-thawed instantly?
Yes.
Oh, good. I was afraid it was going to be not an Independence Day, Demolition Man episode.
You immediately de-thaw, it completely falls off of you, and the water disappears, and all of you are dry. It's like you never were in the ice to begin with.
Oh,
The ice man cometh.
the audience goeth.
But when you were in the ice, it was very uncomfortably cold. Not enough for damage or anything, but definitely cold. A massive iron structure that appears to be a pair of docking arms straddles the river Styx and extends out over it. Heavy clamps, chains, and bars are fixed to the docking arms to lash large vessels between them. The large vessel, you see, is Zariel's fortress.
I thought we were going to the command deck.
Crystal says,
She has made it so teleportation magic is not available to be used on her fortress.
Uh-huh.
It's understandable. Good warding.
just then, a bunch of barbed devils are on the docks here, and they're working, and they see you all, and they go turn around to be like, "Hey, what are you mortals doing here? Get out of here, shoot!"
Oh, pretty chill.
Crystallis is like, "We've come to have a meeting with Zariel." Oh, Zariel, get in line, buddy. You know. And then, as that conversation only gets even to there, 3 bone devils fly down, 12 barbed devils float around above you, and what is definitely their leader appears to be what looks more like a traditional devil. Flies down. It's this huge lumbering figure. It's probably 10 feet tall. He's got these huge horns that curve out, and he's got the pitchfork. He's got big wings and the barbed tail. And he comes down. You notice his face is covered in what you think is oil, black oil, and he seems to be chewing on something. And as he's chewing on it, a little spark of like coal spits out. And he's got on a very mechanic, like a singe vest and such.
And who does he attack?
He flies down to where you guys are at and lands. And says,
Well, what do we have here? Well, we are here to see Zariel. We wanted to return something of hers at post haste. I know how she's so busy. Well, I could get you to her. But I think those mortals that you're with will need to do something for me first. I can get you there lickety split.
Crystallis looks back at you guys.
Always
What?
tit for tat here.
Well, what is it you want from us?
Well, I need your help dealing with a little test run I'm doing.
Test run on.
I have built an experimental biosphere to dredge the bottom of the river Styx for silted souls.
Souls. Whoops.
Silted souls are very concentrated souls that are at the bottom of river Styx. Very valuable. It's like smoke powder, as you mortals call it. Quite explosive when used in infernal machines. In a good way.
So you're panning the river Styx and want us to help.
Exactly. But it is a device that I'm testing.
Let me guess. It puts us in danger by trying to dredge the Styx, and you want us to do it instead of you having to do it.
Oh, you're a bit more expendable than my men up there.
And as he points up, you see the Spine Devils fighting a bunch of demons.
Realize how fast they get shredded, right?
How fast what gets shredded?
How fast they get shredded, right? Just points up to the Spine Devils.
You notice they're actually doing fairly well because it's a bunch of equally low-level demons, and it's just kind of like, yeah.
Why don't we fight the low-level demons and you send the spine devils down the river Styx?
The quickest way forward is to get this done and prevent any additional fights that would use our resources, spell slots, and any other energy we have to use, and just get it done.
How
Well, if
deep is the river Styx?
Oh, it's only about 100 feet or so, based off the dock.
Pick.
I'm assuming none of us have to go in it.
Mav, would you have made any friends before we left?
Not from the city folk.
Just so you know, a bathysphere is you know how sometimes they show the it's like a sphere that you'll see like a scientific research in, and they like go down to just study like deep
It's
down.
Bioshock.
It's a mini, yeah, bathysphere like from Bioshock. It's a mini sub.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You notice that he has a bunch of infernal iron cranes and pulleys and chains, 2 chains attached to this thing. It looks big enough to fit all of you. But it'd be pretty crammed with all of you.
So effectively,
On the outside of it, you see these weird, look like almost like rubbery gauntlets, more like gloves.
So we're going inside the bathysphere.
Yes.
Okay.
There's clearly like a submarine door crank thing on the top.
Okay, that just sounds like a bad idea. How much are they looking for?
Well, if you're too abyssal chicken for it, you'll only need one of you to go down there to test the experiment.
I was about to volunteer. Watch the tongue.
I don't need to watch my tongue. It's already singed.
And as he says that, he grits his teeth, and you see like a little piece of like burnt coal that's still like red hot, and you notice that's what he's been chewing on the whole time.
His tongue.
No, it's like a little piece of coal, but it's still like red hot and on fire.
He's been using burnt coal as chewing tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many sets of arms of the rubber gauntlets are there?
4.
So
How much of the dredging do they need?
Just enough to show that it works. And if more than one of you go down there, whoever gets the most silt souls gets a soul coin.
Rick, you thinking what I'm thinking? 2 up, 2 down?
Well, I can go down and I don't even have to use the gloves. I can just mage earth the dirt into the container.
Problem is they're wanting this thing to be tested, so you kind of need to use the gloves.
They just want the silt.
They want to test the bathysphere. They need the silt. There's the difference.
Well, as the bathysphere gets me down there, that it works because I only got 30-foot range on mage.
You have mage hand. They do not. They need to test the bathysphere's arms to make sure that the whole contraption itself works.
Well,
If you want to accrue, yes.
to make sure I don't get sued by one of the Council of Aid, I'll need you to sign this here.
And he hands you a contract.
Marvelous. All right.
Rick,
Yeah, Rick. Lawyer speak any of it in there?
Investigate.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Guide. You get guidance.
24.
You can add a D4 to that.
No need. You can see that the bathysphere is can hold up to 4 medium creatures inside it. This contract also goes over what all the bathysphere has for you. It is airtight and watertight. There's little harnesses in there to secure yourself in it, and then he uses the crane to lower it. And the job is to use these arms to scoop up the silted souls from the bottom. And if somebody gets more, whoever gets the most would get a soul coin. But that's only if more than one of you were going down there. Otherwise, there's no soul coin reward on top of all that. And then the contract is also saying, like, once you've completed the service for Basilstein, the horned devil, he will send you to the Archduchess Zariel.
So what
as
I was
per your
getting
request.
If I go down there, not even using the hands, but being able to, I'm guessing there's some kind of area to collect the silt in.
Yeah.
Like an outward deposit box.
Yeah, we'll say there is, yeah.
So I could just basically just ride the bathysphere down, get within range, use mole earth to move 5 cubic feet of this stuff, load it in, and donezo.
Okay. You want to sign the contract and go?
What the hell could be here?
Okay.
You did notice with your investigation that he'll only send those that signed a contract up to Zariel.
Yeah.
Oh, so
bullshit.
Okay. Fine.
Let's do this. We're a team.
Well, just because you sign it doesn't mean you have to go down.
That is also true.
Shit. Brakka just takes the pen after Rick signs it. She'll just take the pen and just go, at least this one doesn't scream.
There's a bunch of other legal BS saying that you can't charge him in the courts of hells for if anyone suffers any injury or fatality or sticks water damages of any kind from this test run.
Great. So we all have to sign it just so we can all go upstairs, but only one of us has to go down. And you're willing, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, so I can get it the quickest and get in and get out.
All right. Let's do it.
So who's all going in?
Richtofen is, but I'm assuming we all have to sign it, including Lulu.
Yep.
Hey, can we make our ice friend sign it as well? So that he has to go up with us? Because he can be commanded to fight with us, can he not?
He can. I don't know. He cannot.
You probably don't want to be up there with Zariel. I'm not one of her devils. She might see me as a spy.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Of course.
Was there anything in the contract we had with him that would have ended it, or like we could dismiss it early or anything like that?
We don't want to dismiss it early.
To void the contract. If you want to void the contract, it'd be quite easy. You speak Christos' name with the voiding the contract in mind, and then that wretch from before, the dude that is the contract, that his eyes and mouth sewn shut, he is immortal and immune to all damage except for those that signed a contract. So if you kill him, it voids the contract.
Oh, well, it would still damn us, though.
There's no point in voiding the contract.
Right. I'm just saying, just for
I'm already getting
curiosity's
in the
sake.
sphere.
Yeah. Get on with it. We need to hurry this up.
You want to go alone? Sure.
It's the quickest way. We all sign. We get teleported up. He's the only one that needs to go down in the bathysphere. He has the range to get more than what we could get with the gloves. They get their test. We get the teleport, and we're done faster than any sort of combat.
But he still needs to get them first. Then
Sounds
we'll
fine.
get teleported up.
The contract doesn't say anything about harming the Horn Devil, right? I'm not gonna. I'm just curious.
Well, you didn't sign the contract for the Ice Devil.
No, I'm talking about the Horn Devil.
Oh, no, nothing at all. Nope.
But we're not attacking them.
No, but if something happens to Rick or he's in danger, I want to make sure I can.
Okay, that's fair.
Pretty much the contract says that Horned Devil is not viable if anyone is in danger in there.
Yeah.
Liability waiver.
Mm-hmm. So you
But
can
I'm not
still
taking
attack
it
him,
to
but you
court.
won't have any legal right.
Oh yeah,
So-
no.
You
But just the
securing the
assault.
door there, Rick?
You don't. Well, if you're in there and you close the door, no one would hear you. It's airtight.
So no comm system or anything?
Nope.
Well, wouldn't Chrysalis be able to hear him? He's the one that signed one of the contracts.
Nope. The metal's too thick. Telepathy wouldn't work through there.
Interesting. Okay. Well, better get a move on. We want to get this hurried up a little bit.
Bangs on the door.
Taps his wrist like it was a watch, saying, "Come on."
Basil Steen continues to grit on that. Little bits of smoke coming out, almost like he's got like a little cigarette kind of, that kind of thing. Got the lower jaw going, and he just goes over to the there's a bunch of levers and stuff, and he pulls two of them, but he doesn't pull them all the way over. And you notice that the chains loosen, and the bathysphere splashes into the water of the river Styx and descends down below. Richtofen. Inside this sphere, there are 4 windows that are very thick glass that you can see through. But it doesn't seem to help at all, because the second you went underwater, it seems like it's a abyssal blackness. Pretty much what I'm saying is visibility out past 10 feet is not possible underwater here. You do see every once in a while what appear to be like greenly ghostly visages of faces wailing and stuff going by.
Am I going to find Rapture down here?
Okay.
Rapture?
Yeah, the city of Rapture.
You might. Maybe not this part of River Styx, though. That would have been demolished by this point. You do have dark vision, though, don't you?
I don't.
No? Oh, yeah, that's right. Dragonborn don't for some dumb reason. It wouldn't matter because it'd be magical darkness anyway. I would say River Styx's darkness is magical. Give me, what's your passive perception? As you're slowly descending down into the depths. And you can hear, like, the pressure coming on the sphere. And you hear, like, the metal bending and clinging and stuff.
12.
Okay. It heads down there, and then eventually you feel, like, the sudden stop of movement, and you hear, like, a total, like, boom, as you hit the bottom. And at the bottom, the only light you can see is this very faint greenish glow that appears to be at the bottom of the River Styx. It seems to be like its own river under the river.
So I'm guessing this green coating is what they're looking for.
Yes.
All right, we go, I guess, to the viewport and cast Mold Earth to collect it.
All right. Normally it's a dexterity check, but because you're using that, I'm going to say it's an intelligence check.
I can do that.
No proficiency, because you're not proficient in harvesting silted souls.
Dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, nice. Okay. You're able to get quite a bit. I would say the hands got this weird, like, suction device. So, use mage hands to, like, scoop it up towards the mechanical hands. The mechanical hands, like, the suction has, like, a tube, and it feeds it to a certain tank. And, you get a pretty decent amount. As you start working on that. Meanwhile, up above, it's been about 5 minutes. A bunch of rocks fly by, and they look like they're gonna harass you guys. And Bizzlestein is like, not these dumb birds again. Sorry, my bad. Wait, let's try this.
Not these dumb birds again.
And he flies off. And with his pitchfork at the ready, and you notice all the bone devils and stuff go to join him, and they start fighting with rocks and stuff. Leaving you guys alone with the crane controls.
Oh.
Meanwhile,
Almost
down
there.
below, Richtofen, mage hand going. Oh yeah, when you're in the River Styx, your mage hand looks greenish, and you've noticed when you use mage hand in Hell that it's like a clawed hand. But down
Not
here,
Mage Hand, it was Mold Earth. That was why I was collecting large chunks of this ground at the time and bringing it in.
you notice the mold earth is more of you getting the foundation of the river upwards, and you're kind of like pulling the green silted souls. It doesn't seem to affect them directly, so you're like indirectly moving them. But you're doing a pretty good job. You've gotten it down pat. You kind of like make a moat in a way. And you like funnel them in, or an aqueduct, and you're able to flow them in. As you're doing that,
Would it be a soul duct?
yes. And if you don't have an inspiration point, you have one.
I'll add it to the other 30.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you guys have like a bajillion that you never use.
I don't have any.
Yeah, a bajillion that you never use. as you're doing that, disrupting the flow, you see a tentacle just go. And it like lands on some of it. And you hear like a dull thud on the side of the sphere.
Whoa.
You're not sure if it's because of the weird lighting down here, but the tentacle looks greenish.
Is this a creature or a soul tentacle?
You can give me a Arcana check at disadvantage because it's like looking at the hand of something. You know, it's like
28 and a 19, so
There's no communication communication ability here, is there?
nope. You hear what sounds like a very faint scream. That's louder than the other screams outside in the underwater river Styx. There's always constant wails down here and such, but that one sounded a little more screechy. And with that Arcana check, you think that this might be a very rare, very dangerous devil. A Skrylin. They apparently spawned from an ancient sea archdevil that had 6 snake-like heads. And these kind of devils are normally on Saege, the frozen oceans of Saege in the 9 Hells. Not normally in Avernus. They look almost like... they got tentacles like Kraken do. They're huge size. They got like a big greenish head from the illustrations you've seen in books, with a more humanoid-like face on it. It's not that part's not very octopus-like. You know, they like to grab things with their tentacles, and then they grab things with their claws while flailing with the tentacles, and they will try to swallow things that they grab with their claws. But the worst part of them is their wail. And it's this horrible screech that leaves even the bravest men cowering in fear. You know, a fear-inducing supernatural scream.
is there anything in here to signal topside?
Nope.
So back up top,
Yep.
insight check on knowing how to pull the bathysphere back up.
Oh, you see the levers there.
Yes.
You know, there's a few levers there. You thinking you might be able to figure it out.
Brakka, take a look at the water and see if there's any like movement, or just like try and spot like anything like with the chains that it's attached to see if something's bugging it.
You notice that the water is pretty choppy. And further out in the river, there's a lot of different boats. Some of them are infernal war machines. Some of them appear to be demon craft. They look more like a boat made from body parts than anything else. And they're out fighting out there. So there's fighting out in the water, and there's fighting out in the sky. And you guys are in a relatively smaller pocket. There's battles all around you, but they're fairly far enough away, and they seem busy with themselves, so they're not really bothering you guys.
Right. But did it look like the water kind of just like, even if it's choppy, did it look like it got a little more intense? Or like the chains sort of just like tugged a little bit?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, it's a
The
pretty
chains
far
haven't
distance
moved
down.
at all.
Is there anything I can see within the range of this? That any like objects on the ground around the bathysphere?
The only thing you could really see is that tentacle, and that part of that tentacle. Then the tentacle itself slides off the bathysphere and slides out of view.
So
The screech becomes more distant.
Yeah, I really want to go ahead and try to yank him up. It's been enough time.
Is it though?
Especially with the other guy leaving. No, I don't want to chance him leaving.
It's been
leaving
at
him
least
down
if it's been at least 10 minutes, then yeah, I'd say we should maybe pull him up.
Okay. As you go to do that, give me an Arcana check.
there. Absolutely.
Guidance.
Which I find weird, because it's a bunch of levers, so I don't see how this is an Arcana check, but that's what it is in the adventure.
Yeah, guiding Nix to
Extra D4.
yes, an extra D4.
Not sure I'm going to need it with a 26.
Nice.
You are successful on figuring out how to make it so the crane goes upwards.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And it starts pulling the chain up slowly. It pulls up the chain a bit. Suddenly, down below, Richtofen, you feel the whole sphere shudder a bit, and then you feel it drag on the floor of the river Styx for just a moment, and then you feel like you're kind of floating. And you can see like little particles and stuff outside the window that are going downwards. You notice that the Silt Soul River that you were working with fades off below you very slowly as you start to ascend slightly. Meanwhile, the group up above, you're figuring out how that works, and you notice that, of course, somehow the chains, when it goes to lower, move kind of fast, but as it's cranking it back up, no matter what you do, it just seems like it's just doing it very slowly.
Yep.
And dramatically. This round, it's gone up 7 feet.
Well, I mean, it makes sense as well, because it's trying to drop it into the river. No big deal. Trying to pull that heavy ass weight back up. It's physics. It's going to take a while.
Gravity assisted going down.
Oh, wait. No. How heavy is the whole thing?
Pretty heavy. It's made of infernal iron.
Approximation here.
Are you talking about the chain, or are you talking about the bathysphere
If
itself?
I was to use a spell to pull it up, how much weight?
Do you need to see it?
No.
Do you need to know exactly where it's at?
No, because I'm looking at the chains.
So you're going to lift the chains.
If I can pull the chains back up, it'll make it easier for the machine to reel it back in. Or if I can just pull up the chains in and of itself. I just need a general estimation here if it's going to work.
The chains are pretty thick.
And I've got a pretty hefty ability.
What's your weight limit?
1,000 pounds.
You think hypothetically you could lift the chains, but you don't think it would be able to lift the bathysphere, which is what's weighing them down. It's the sinker essentially.
Right. So, despite being able to lift the chains, I would not be able to lift the chain. What's attached to the chains?
Yeah, you're thinking the bathysphere probably weighs about the same as what your Devil's Ride, your motorcycle, would have weighed, which was more than 1,000.
Okay, then yeah, we just got to wait then. So hurry up and wait.
Brakka, since you are looking out in the waters, you notice appearing outside of the waters, fairly close to you actually, appears to be what looks almost like a cuttlefish, but this cuttlefish is about your size, and it like comes up to the surface and it looks at you with its eyes, and as it looks at you, you're looking back into its eyes, and I need a wisdom saving throw.
I can't. Yeah, I don't think I can. That's a skill check. Never mind. That's a 27.
Okay. You notice that there seem to be a bunch of patterns and stuff reflecting to its eyes, and it seemed like it was trying to do something hypnotic to you, but you easily shake it off.
Yeah. Just blink a couple times and just like.
At that point, I'm going to say we roll initiative.
Jeez.
Nat 1.
15.
What did Lulu get? Nat 4. Sweet.
Lovely.
She didn't go last. 15 for Brakka.
Mm-hmm.
Koi, what'd you get?
For once, a natural 20. on initiative.
Nice.
A natural 20?
Yeah,
What's the total?
23.
Nice. Pretty sure you're first. Nix, what'd you get?
19.
And Richtofen.
Would you kindly give Andrew Ryan a 12 down here?
All right. You're not last.
If you're gonna pull
All
that
of you
move.
go before the NPCs and enemies do, so that's a plus. All right. So, Koi, as your turn starts, you notice popping out of the water, really close to Brakka. It actually hops up onto the dock itself. Are a bunch of very weird-looking shark octopuses. And what I mean by
Octopi?
that is like where the body would be on the octopus, it's like a great white shark head and gills part, and then the rest of it is just like octopus tentacles. But
It's
they're
like
very
the
like
Sharktopus movie.
yes, it's a sharktopus.
Ugh.
You can give me an Arcana check at advantage because you're a Triton. You've probably fought these before, being a Triton.
What is called if he was Cthulhu?
Advantage I rolled a natural 20 again,
Okay.
which it's a 20 total.
Nice. You know that these are called Luska demons. I don't even know how to pronounce my own creature's name. Luska demons. Lusca. They make up the main demonic troops of the aquatic abyssal demon variety. They're quite numerous in the seas of the abyss that like to invade the plane of water that the Tritons defend. Most of these kind of demons tend to follow lords that have a great appetite that matches their own. They like to grab things with their tentacles, and then while they're grappling them, they bite with their teeth, and they got a weird supernatural acidic saliva. So when they bite, it burns. But
Great.
3 of those pop up.
So from Avernus Fried Chicken to what? Long John Abyssal?
Taco. Something, I don't know.
Captain Demons.
Fuck, that's good. Sorry.
Actually, I'm going to say 2 of them pop up. My bad.
How about Red Luskin? And then Red Lobster.
Hmm.
Red Luskins.
Only if they got cheddar biscuits.
Oh god, those are good.
So, Koi, what do you do?
Well, the only thing I can do is send them back.
They look like they're getting ready to leap out of the water and chew at Brakka.
Oh hell no! I will shoot at the first one I can see.
Okay.
Okay, I will shoot at it. Sharpshooter. Okay. That's a 17.
17 hits.
Good. Yeah. 18 damage.
Okay.
Next attack to the other one.
Okay.
25.
That definitely hits.
15 damage minimum.
All right.
And third attack to
Oh.
the first one again.
You also see
Oh,
that weird cuttlefish thing.
third attack to the cuttlefish.
Mm-hmm. Which you also know is a demon. You don't know exactly what it is, but you've seen one in battle before. Or at least your people have warned you in tales.
Yeah.
Fishy
So
tits.
that's a 22 to hit.
22 hits. Oh, actually, no, you're not within range. Never mind.
All right. $19.
Okay. After you is...
I will
Hmm?
move.
I'll say you were about 60 feet away. Because they're like in the water and you're not.
Yeah.
They don't seem
Right.
affected by the river Styx at all.
No, I will stay there.
Okay. Nix is next. Nix, you're at the levers. I'll say you're about 50 feet away from the closest shark octopus thing.
Fine by me. I am going to keep my proximity to the levers. So give me just a second. I just realized I'm not on the right screen for my spell list.
What is your passive perception?
Passive is 10 plus, right?
Yep.
15.
You notice a large-sized demon with 4 arms. The 2 big main arms appear to be like crab arms. Has gotten out of the fray of the blood war from land and has actually noticed you, and it's running this way.
Oh, okay.
It looks injured, but it doesn't seem to care.
Of course not. This is going to be just...
Actually, no, it's flying your way, magically.
Of course it is.
Flying crab man.
Oh, of course it is.
He looks like this.
Enemy grab. Oh,
Okay, that actually looks more badass than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
That thing. Out of character, I know what that is. Fuck it.
But it's all bloody and stuff. It's got a bunch of spine devil spikes in it. You can hear like tss.
Okay.
And it's all
Like, I will eat your face.
or something. I don't know.
I think you're falling in love with that, Scotty.
What? No.
Anyways, so sword and orb at the ready. I'm going to point the sword at it, and while alerting my allies to its presence, so I'm not the only one aware of him charging towards us, I'm going to hit him with a firebolt.
Okay.
Ranged spell attack. That's one I haven't used in a while. That is 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Yay. And we are, well, we are 13, so that means 3d10. I don't have my D10 already, so give me 1 second. 3d10. Awesome. Exact same amount of damage, 23.
Ah.
You notice he is resistant.
I knew I should have gone with the ice knife.
You think he might have been resistant to that too?
I knew I should have gone with
punch in
acid
the face.
splash. Yeah, punch in the face. But
Definitely resistant to that.
Yeah.
But I do not move. I'm still hovering directly next to the levers.
Can
Okay.
silver
You
your
notice that the
face?
demon is going after you, but then it sees what you're doing, and it looks over at the chains and smirks at you.
Yeah, of course. What'd you say, Lluis?
I mean, just a random thought. If you can silver your fists.
If you're
Silver my...
if you're warforged, you could.
If you have a prosthesis, probably.
Side tangent. Warforged had a lot of cool feats in 3rd edition, and one of them was being able to like have silver lining on your plates and stuff, so they could punch with silver. Because werewolves are an issue in Eberron, kind of, a little bit.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
They have 12 moons. Of course, they're an issue. That's how shifters came to be.
So yeah, it is Brakka's turn.
Did Nick said they called out the presence of the thing?
Yes.
The sound of the firebolt would give it away too.
We know what that thing is based on our studies in Candlekeep.
You can give me an Arcana check. It is
Ugly all
not.
day.
It is not a devil.
Is that gonna take my action to do it?
Nope. Because I like spouting lore.
Nah, it's a 3 on the dice, so that's gonna be a 6 total. I have no idea what this thing is. It's a crab man and it looks terrifying.
It's a big. It's a big demon. It's a big demon.
Hit it
Brakka.
hard. Okay, so this thing, as everything here, doesn't like one type of energy that I know of, and so Brakka just spins the staff in one hand and points the tip of not staff, but the club in one hand, points the tip at it, and the all the bark, the striations on the bark just go. They start to light up Tron style, and a sunbeam blasts out of it at this thing.
Oh, what? At the big guy?
Yep, as a Constitution saving throw, I need this gentleman to make me.
Okay. With advantage, you might still fail. I'm pretty sure he failed. 15.
It needed an 18 or higher to make that. So yeah, he fails. So he is blinded, and until the start of my next turn, and he takes 6d8 radiant damage from this.
Oh boy. The two tinier, smaller arms go to grab his head, his eyes. He's like, ah! In Abyssal, he's just like, ah, fuck. Oh, sorry, my bad. In Abyssal, he's all like,
Ah, fuck.
There's 31 points of radiant damage to this gentleman.
Not radiant damage to the eyes. My one weakness.
38.
Yep.
Radiant damage, you say?
Mm-hmm. Right. And I guess also just shillelagh on the club. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, and move away from where the sea creatures are probably going to try and breach.
Okay. As you're moving, it is Richtofen's turn. So Richtofen, for your turn, roll me 2d10s.
$15.
Okay. That's how far up your sphere is moving on this turn.
How big is this bathysphere, by the way?
It's large size. It's like the size of a tent. A tent for 4, maybe.
Give him a second.
So you got a pretty good space for one, since there's only one of you down here.
But how big is the footage of it? Like diameter or radius?
What are you thinking?
Well, just covering my options if anything happens. Is it more than 10?
Diameter or radius?
Radius.
No, it's not more than 10.
Okay. Then I slowly ascend.
All right. Then it is Lulu's turn. Lulu gonna risk flying over the river Styx to attack those things. Or she can go after the bigger one, which might also be quite dangerous. Danger she's not worried about. Just whatever seems like be more helpful to friends. You know what? She'll fly over off the dock, and she flies over towards the cuttlefish thing. And as she does, she needs a wisdom saving throw. But she has advantage, and she got a nat 20, so she is fine.
Oh, my goodness.
And Trumpet of Sparkles.
Attack.
And it will hit the cuttlefish, and I'll say one of the shark octopus things are just in range. So they gotta roll some kind of saving throw. I know what I'm doing, I swear. Let me pull up D&D Beyond, for it has all the monster stats that you need.
D&D Beyond.
Oh, did you know if you were paying for Pro, I believe there's online dice right now for D&D Beyond that you can use.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
It's in
really cool.
alpha though, isn't it?
I think it was in alpha, and now it's available to everybody.
Oh, neat. Anybody playing paying pro.
Yes.
So not everybody.
Everybody's paying for Pro. Pull up Lulu's staff. Aha, Trumpet of Sparkles. Yeah, it is con save. Which one of them failed? Oh, no, they have disadvantage. Yeah, still one failed. Okay, so... Squillium Tentacles. And Sharknado. Take some damage.
No.
The squid's looking pretty beat up. And it immediately goes bloop, into the river Styx. Dives down. It did not like any of that. However, the sharktopus looked like it was going to leap up at Brakka, but somebody just flew right over top of it, so it's just going to go and try to go after Lulu.
Sharktopie? Is it plural?
Actually, no, it will try to grab Lulu with its tentacles. So it like goes up in the air and then it has to do a bite attack first. I'm sorry, I'm reading my own notes because these are my own creatures.
Nice.
Nat 1. Let's see how this fish flounders.
It bites his tongue, or better, it bites off one of his own tentacles.
As we use one of the most popular items on the DM's Guild, Xanathar's last notes to everything else. Right. So, D100. 27. Well, the demon's not really holding anything, so nothing else happens, but it does miss. Clearly, easily misses Lulu. And then the other shark one, I will say, actually does hop out of the water to Brakka, because Brakka's actually the closest.
Then move back.
15.
Misses.
Okay. It hops out of the water, and it's surprisingly able to move on land. And it like moved up to try to bite you.
You just
You get out
shot
of
it
the way.
off my shield.
Oh, wait, sorry. I was looking at the cuttlefish thing's stats. My bad. No wonder. I was like, huh, weird. That bite attack's weaker than I thought it was. Does it 18 hit? I'm sorry.
An 18, yes, that would just over my armor class.
Okay. You take 20 piercing damage and 11 acid damage as it bites down onto you.
Rude.
Oof. Alright.
Then after them, we loop back around to Koi.
Oh shit. Okay, I will attack the shark.
It's as big as... It's actually... The main body of it is as big as Brakka. So, and half its body's a mouth. So, that's why that was so much damage on you, Brakka.
Yeah, I will attack that one.
What'd you get?
24 to hit.
24 hits.
And I will spend a superiority die. And it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, it's good at those. It's not. It's not at all. 14. Wow.
So it's
You got a 14 on the wisdom.
27 piercing damage, and it has disadvantage if it attacks anything that it's not me.
Ooh, nice.
And I will turn and attack the giant enemy crab.
Okay.
It looks like Kirinos, right? Like super heavy armor kind of demon.
It looks like it has a really tough hide. It's not wearing any armor, but it looks
Yeah.
tanky.
Yeah, then I will not apply the sharpshooter thing on the next attacks.
If you recall, it is blinded. You do have advantage on your shot.
Right, well, that's good. Then I will apply the sharpshooter thing. 21.
21 hits.
22.
Oh, 22? No, that doesn't hit. 21 hits then.
22 to hit.
That also
No,
hits.
Impossible. It's 23 damage. Sorry.
Oh. Oh, okay. It looks really, really hurt. It was already pretty
Well
hurt before it got to you guys.
The last shot. It's down with the 21.
Okay.
And it's 18 damage.
Ooh, okay. It is still up, but very hurt. And that is Koi's turn. Alright, Nix, it is your turn.
All right. So
Sharktopus in the water, Sharktopus on land, giant crab demon thing.
Still blind.
That is blind.
I swear it sounds like a setup for a bad joke.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And an Ice Devil and a Holofant.
Wait, has Chris not done anything to help us?
I have to command it, right?
No one told me to do anything. I'm just enjoying the show.
Is it taking action to command him?
Nope.
Okay.
So gonna use some of the charges from the Dragon Orb and cast Lightning Bolt at the Crabman.
Okay. Normally I would have advantage, but because he's blind, I'm going to say it neutralizes to a normal roll. The dex save?
Dex save.
15, I'm pretty sure fails.
Fails. So that is 8d6. 33 plus my con mod since it's lightning damage. Or not con, charisma.
Oh, no need. Even though he is resistant, the lightning hits him, and as it hits him, he blows up into like a bloody mess.
He's not resistant with my elemental adept, but I guess that's irrelevant either way. So explosion.
Mhm.
Yay. Okay, we're good. Hey, we can have some abyssal crab meat.
Brakka, you have a large-sized shark octopus demon biting through most of your torso.
Right. Well, first, I gotta make sure I can keep my sunbeam up because it's concentration. That is a 16.
16 would keep it up, yeah.
Okay, gonna shove it down this thing's, shove it in this thing's face and just blast it again, point blank.
The octopus demon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it issues from me 5 foot wide, 60-foot line.
Got 4.
Ah, fails. It's blind. And now for the damage.
It's blind. Double disadvantage.
It says 37 points of radiant damage to this thing.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
And tis blind.
Quick math. It is really hurt, but to your surprise, it is still latched onto you.
I'm just gonna look over at Crystallis and go, give us a hand here. Maybe. Possibly.
He's gonna clap.
Okay.
God's damned asshole.
I am rolling his initiative, though.
Okay.
So long as he's a smartass but still does his job, that's fine.
Richtofen, what's your dex bonus?
Speaking of,
Richtofen?
Sorry, I had the other one muted. +1.
Okay, you are the lesser 12 then. So Chrysalis gets to go right now. Well, you want him to help. Okay. What's the least he can do to help?
This is a character for him.
Yeah, he'll shoot a ray of frost. So he just looks over at the sharktopus thing that's attacking you, and he just points a finger at it, and he shoots a ray of frost. It hits. And the creature takes cold damage and is slowed down. So that's nice.
Imagine he just he's flicking a booger off his finger.
Yeah, he had like his arms crossed, and he just had one hand go to the lips. He's not.
Picture is just in Freeze's voice. Fine, monkey, I'll help you.
Pretty much, yeah, actually. And that octopus demon, it seems like the thrashing has slowed down a little bit on it, but it is still alive on you. And that's Crystal's turn as we go back to Richtofen. Richtofen, roll me 2d10s.
16.
All right. The rest of you are starting to very vaguely notice the silhouette of the bathysphere starting to rise up.
Is there at least elevator music playing in this thing?
I mean, you could use Minor Illusion to do that. Or it just plays the music whenever your submarine's on fire in Subnautica.
Oh.
It's the most stressful music ever. You don't want to be doing
Lovely music to die by.
Oh, swimming by you, you see like what looks like a cuttlefish as it swims down past you, and as it does, I need a Wisdom saving throw. Now think about it.
Ooh, nat 20.
Okay,
so 29 total.
There was something mesmerizing about it, but you quickly shake off that feeling.
Huh, that's odd.
As it swims away, and as you see it swim away, this ridiculously huge face that's like green, and you notice it has like human teeth, not like sharpened teeth, like human teeth. Just goes and like grabs it and continues swimming, and trailing behind it is at least 20 feet of tentacle.
Well, there's always a bigger fish.
And you're pretty sure that was the devil you saw earlier.
Huh, better him than me.
After Richtofen is Lulu. Lulu will fly back to shore and help out Brakka. She charges with her tusks.
Check him.
What?
I said shank him.
Oh. I thought you said like check them, and I'm like check what?
Shank him. No.
Check 1, 2.
Shank him.
Dirty 20. One piercing damage. You gotta be kidding me.
No.
It's the thought that counts.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
She's a good bean.
Meanwhile, Crystal's
It's like,
Sharky thing. It's chaotic evil, so it doesn't care if it dies. It tries to attack you twice with its tentacles. And tentacle attack. 22.
It's
All right. Oh,
This matters, right?
it was blinded, but you notice that even with the blind, it doesn't seem to matter. Mostly because
Also-
it has a blood frenzy ability.
I had disadvantage because it's not attacking me.
But it has advantage because of blood frenzy, so it cancels out.
Right. So it's just a
Regular
straight
attack.
roll.
Mm-hmm. And you are grappled by the tentacles as you take a whopping 12 bludgeoning damage. And then the other tentacle attacks you at normal roll. Because the grapple would have gave it... No, the grapple wouldn't have gave it advantage. Never mind. But Blood Frenzy would have. 13?
It misses.
Okay. The second one... You know what? It really wants to eat Lulu, so it will hop out of the water and try to go after Lulu. 22 to hit. Oh boy. And it grabs Lulu with its tentacle. You hear a small squeaking sound as it crunches Lulu. And Lulu's like,
Not my ribs.
as she's being crushed by the tentacle. Koi.
Oh boy.
The only thing that's left there is the two sharktopusses. One looks like it's gonna die if you just sneeze on it.
Well, I'm gonna sneeze on them. Yeah, I cannot think of a pun. So yeah, I will shoot at the weak one first.
Okay.
Give it a bad case of Bowman 19.
15.
A 15 hits.
Cool. Where's my die? Alright, why am I rolling to die? Oh. 15 piercing damage.
All right. You shoot it where you think its brain's going to be, and you're pretty sure you succeeded, because it immediately goes limp and falls off a Brakka and quickly starts turning into what looks like Styx water and then turns into demon ichor.
Yeah, back it
Yeah.
up, back it up, back it up.
It's
We're
not
even-
it's not touching you, so it's
Oh,
fine.
thank goodness.
And then I will shoot at the Lulu one.
Okay.
15.
That hits.
My rolls keep getting progressively lower. I'm scared. That's 17 piercing damage. And then last attack, it's 13 to hit.
13 does not hit. Unfortunately. Nix, you are next. All that's left is the shark octopus that is holding Lulu.
How close?
With your fly speed, you could easily get close enough for anything.
It's not what I asked.
30 feet.
Okay. If the creature that's doing the grappling with Lulu gets pulled any sort of distance, would that grappling be undone?
Nope. It would pull her with it.
Oh no.
Well then.
Unless you detached the tentacle and she was no longer grappled.
Well, I guess it worked for the other one. I might as well do it for this one. Orbit Dragon kind, go! Lightning bolt.
What save is that one?
Dex.
Alright. 13?
Fails
Okay.
gloriously. So that is 31 plus 5, so 36 damage. Lightning.
All right, and because of your feet, it's not halved. And it jolts around a whole bunch. It's smoking from the heat from the lightning, but it is still holding onto Lulu.
Damn it.
After you is Brakka.
All right, roll to make sure that I still have my sunbeam up. Pretty sure that does it. That's a 22.
Yep, you're good.
All right, so just turn around and again aim the club at this last remaining thing, and just go. I think it's about time you saw the light, and zap it. So it needs that save.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Every time I roll for it, it's single digits. It fails.
That's 14 points of radiant damage and is blind.
Okay. And on that note, it is fried by your sunbeam. Turns to calamari, and then turns to disgusting goo. Battle victory music plays as the Horned Devil just shows back up again. You notice that he's taken a little bit of damage, and there aren't as many devils as there were before. You notice a bunch of spores on him, and he just, like, brushes them off.
Hey, could you make this thing pull up faster?
Yeah.
And he just goes over to the levers, and he looks at him for a bit, and he looks back at you and says,
Looks like you already got him going at full speed.
That's full. You've got some improvements to make.
and that, on that note, that is when the bathysphere is back up on the surface.
Yay.
And Richtofen, you are good to go. You can open up the hatch from inside.
Did you have fun in there?
Did I miss anything?
You notice,
No.
you notice the air was getting kind of stale in there for a little bit.
Well, with his acidic farts, and wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I got a full collection of your silt.
Excellent. Then I shall take you to Zariel.
Coin.
That was if 2
That
went
was
down.
yeah, it was a competition.
Oh, I apologize. Only one of you went down.
Yeah,
So
I was
coin
fighting
is-
against myself.
That wasn't part of the deal. Now, if you'll follow me.
I told you that before you went down, Rick.
Go after big guy.
Hey, Brakka, make him feel better. Give you one of the soul coins we had left over.
I'll pass Rick one of my soul coins. If he has the con to spare for it.
Are we all maxed out already?
I think we're all maxed out on our soul coins. 'Cause I got 5, not that much.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know either.
Either.
Random demons, I mean devils.
You're not.
Same thing.
And try to get a picture for you guys of what this that big demon devil octopus thing looks like. I will put it in the Discord because it's a creature from 3rd edition.
Hey guys, I think I saw a green kraken down there.
As you say that, you notice a demon ship floating by, and suddenly a whole bunch of tentacles come out of the water, and they wrap around the boat and break it in half and pull everyone into the water.
Oh, there it is.
I don't believe you.
You hear the screech of 10,000 damned souls descend into the river Styx.
What is this, fake hell news?
Ooh.
Don't care.
As
Don't believe you.
as Basil Steen orders his spine devils and bone devils underneath him to keep watch. So he escorts you all to the edge of the flying fortress, where you notice that there is a bridge that leads from the port to the flying ship at its lower levels. And he leads you onto the ship. You notice that the Devil's main priority seems to be defending this flying fortress at the moment.
To the ship, Chris is going to just stop and just not follow us any further.
Nope, he stays outside.
Yeah.
Gives you a tiny little wave.
Yeah. Before we do, Brakka is just going to shoot a little telepathic message off to him. Just be like, "Ooh, that's cool looking."
Yeah, I remember those things.
Yeah.
It's 450 feet tall, just to give you an idea how big this thing is that you're going into.
We
We're
saw
not going to have to
one.
be jumping over a bullet bill, are we?
It doesn't look that way. You notice that there are a bunch of bearded devils here in full plate. You've fought them before. They're the ones with the wicked glaives, but they didn't have armor. These ones do.
Yeah. Before they head in, Brakka's just going to look over her shoulder and just like shoot a telepathic message to just Chris, like, "You still in here?"
Still in where?
Exactly. Just taps and just smirks. Just says, "Think you can hang back within range of this?"
Unfortunately, I cannot.
And then you notice as you enter the fortress, communication stops completely. As you're all being escorted inside, you notice a bunch of beautiful women with black feathered wings and whips and swords that seem to be patrolling in different hallways and such. If any of them that see you, they look at you and scowl at you, looking down at you.
Ladies.
Nix just ignores, keeps following the other one. There's a mission going on here.
They seem
Alright,
to not even be able to look directly at Nix. You're not sure of if it's because of the divinity radiance that you have upon you, or if it's just that they are just that disgusted by you.
Don't care. Nix smirks.
Insight. Can I insight to see like any expressions of trying to read their faces?
You know that these are Arenius devils.
Mm-hmm.
And these devils were originally angels. They are fallen angels. You're thinking maybe some of them can't stand looking at something that they once were.
Yeah. Makes sense. Brakka's just going to stick close to Nix real quick. And just sort of read the room, see how, just waiting for whenever they get close to like the door, the main chamber for Zariel's place.
You head into a small box room that seems to have one wall that's open. And there's like a guardrail that can be set in there. And as you go in there with this horned devil, another devil, we'll say a spined devil, pulls a lever, and the entire room moves upwards. It's an elevator. You take the elevator up. And
Sorry,
you notice constantly while you're in here a low humming emitting from down below deck. You're not sure where exactly, but it's definitely somewhere below where you guys entered. And whatever it is, it's something big enough to be shaking the ship, where you can still feel the slight vibrations on the infernal iron floor. On your way up, You go by what looks like a prison. Notice a bunch of bars and stuff, and they have like reddish infernal runes glowing on them. And as that stuff goes to appear, Nyx, suddenly floating next to you, on the side of you that's holding the badge of the Hell Riders, Ria's ghost appears. And she says, "There he is." And she points down to one of the cages. Did you guys want to stop?
We have no
Yeah.
reason to.
Is she only visible to Nyx?
No.
Devils didn't react or anything?
They see her, but they don't seem to care too much.
Right.
First, she's not doing anything hostile right now.
Also, how badly is Brakka hurt?
Not too bad.
Need to put a poultice on that or anything?
No, I can top myself off if I need be.
Okay.
Did Rick say this in character or anything like that? Or is that character thing?
Well, I would notice the shark bites on you, be like, you good?
Brakka just smiles at Rick and just nods like, I've been hurt worse, remember? Eaten in half, like eaten whole.
Yeah, but we were not inside a devil fortress.
I'm fine. Tough girl.
Oh, you're very tough.
Thank you, though.
You hear a low humming, like, dong, as the elevator stops.
Was there at least elevator music?
The only sounds you were greeted to was the sound of screeching metal on metal as the elevator was going up.
It's still better than ABBA.
Brakka just looks up to Basilstein is what his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
Uh,
here, or is it a little further on?
He says,
We are here. Zariel is in the main deck. Now I should go back to my duties.
Thanks, and good luck with your little side venture down there.
mm-hmm. So, heading out into the main deck, you see a bunch of Aranyes here, wearing full plate. You see a bunch of command consoles and stuff. This is very not D&D like. It's actually kind of jarring. But you just see like a bunch of these weird looking devices on these tables with a bunch of buttons and such. And there are a variety of different devils that seem to be using them in certain capacities. And the one that stands out most obvious to you, floating impatiently at the main part of the deck, is none other than Zariel herself. The room seems to be lit up from her flaming halo and molten lava-like wings.
Before we even stepped onto the deck, Brakka would have just put a hand on Nyx and just sort of look like she was gonna grab her necklace, just have like a sort of like comfort thingy, and just go, remember, we got this, Berea, and is going to use what level do I need to use?
Oi! We've been looking for you.
Wait,
Rick, would you at least give us somebody else a chance to RP first?
to at cast at third level is going to use enhance ability on herself and Nyx and give us both Eagle Splendor.
What be that?
Eagle Splendor. Advantage on charisma checks for the next hour.
You're gonna waste it on me. I already get advantage on charisma checks.
Better safe than sorry.
Who brought these mortals on board?
She gasps as she sees the sword. Nyx, you notice that the sword immediately starts glowing and it's pulling itself away from you towards her. What do you do?
Oh,
Throw it at her.
no, I'm not gonna throw it at her.
Point first.
We came to negotiate, Dormammu.
I am not the demon lord Dormammu. How dare you call me a demon?
Did not say that in character. Get out of my head.
I know, I'm just joking with you. Who says I do not know that you are also players in this game?
Great. Super sanity. Just what we need. Another Joker on the plane.
As Ariel looks at the screen.
Yeah. Fourth wall break. I'm trying to figure out how I'd want to respond. Do I let the sword go to her in the chance of reuniting the souls? Do I try and talk her out of it?
You notice it's like pulling gently away from you. It's not like forcing itself away.
Right.
It feels right.
That it's pulling away?
That it's trying to reunite with her.
Okay. God's help me if this is the wrong idea. I let the sword go.
All right. The sword floats in the air and it gets within 10 feet of her. All of the devils and such gasp in both awe and disgust as this celestial weapon appears before them. Looking outside of the main deck, you see this window, and outside the window, hundreds of feet below, and in the skies above that, and in the clouds and beyond, appears to be countless battles going forth between devils and demons. You do not hear it, but it's like this background, I guess, to the scene. And Zariel looks hesitant at the sword.
Us.
It's your sword, isn't it?
You are giving it back to me?
Did
But
she?
why?
Lulu is. This is all Lulu's idea.
So that I can destroy it? Are you seeking servitude under me? This is favor.
No.
Did
We want
she-
you to take it back.
Did she respond when I said, "Do you remember us?"
I have never met you before.
Yeah,
If I had, you definitely would have been dead centuries ago.
Okay, so that rules that out. We're here.
All of you mortals look the same to me anyway.
Lovely. So no, we don't want you to destroy the sword. We want you to take it back.
And why should I join back with the celestial host? What is there for me in that? What is there for the multiverse in that?
Balance.
Balance. Balance is what you want. Look down below you. That has been going on since before you mortals have even existed. That fight continues down there. The demons keep corrupting the multiverse. And what do they do up there? They sit in their high perches up in Mount Celestia, watching this all happen. Watching mortals get corrupted and destroyed by these demons. Watch as all of reality gets bent into their whim. If it wasn't for the devils, if it wasn't for me coming down here, you all would have been killed long ago. Your world would have been destroyed by the demonic incursions.
And what better way to spur them into action than to take up the sword, which you got everything that you see here, and putting even more force behind your wave? I'm using my charisma so hard right now. If I need to roll for something, please tell me, because I am not going to be able to RP this very well.
Lulu scoots up.
Zariel? You don't need to do this. I miss you. I don't know what Asmodeus promised you, but I know what you're doing is not right. Yes, I agree that demons are bad and that we should destroy them all, but not like this. Come home with me, please.
Roll me a charisma check.
Yay! I'm proficient and I get advantage. That is a dirty 20 on the first. And a 27 on the second.
Sorry, I'm transitioning the picture for those at home. Zariel, with trembling hands, reaches towards the glimmering hilt of her sword. Her fingers brush against it. She grimaces as the radiant light sears her flesh. As her grip tightens on it, she gasps in pain, and then speaks an oath through tears of confusion, sorrow, and possibly dawning joy.
I, Zariel, supplicate myself before the holy light of justice. If it should accept me, I vow to take up this blade once more in its service and redeem myself.
The Archdevil's words hang in the air for a moment. The only thing you hear is the humming of the flying fortress, or even the devils seem to be in a panic, just stopping at all their stations. She glances up through the window, past the clouds, and up into the sky above Avernus, with agonizing uncertainty of her words. Then, suddenly, the roof of the flying fortress starts to crack as you see bits of light shining through it. And then the roof itself breaks apart and a beam of radiant light hits her. Her fiery halo disappears, and feathers burst through her leathery wings. All of her diabolical features vanish as her angelic form is restored. At the sight of this blessed transformation, Lulu gasps in delight, flies up into the air out of the flying fortress, and transforms into a giant golden mammoth with golden fur and feathered wings and gleaming tusks. Zariel quickly looks at all of you. Her eyes glowing white but sunken in, and she holds her sword, and she says, "I've already damned," and I don't have her celestial voice mod, so I can't do that one.
Okay.
She says, "I can't save the souls I've already used, but I can at least save this city's." And she flies out of the roof of the flying fortress. All the devils and such look stunned and in awe, and just the Dragon Ball Z like, You're thinking this might be a good moment to try to get the heck out of here. As Lulu, the flying mammoth now, flies down and is like, she's like,
Get on my back! We're flying back to town!
Brakka is going to just the biggest grin on her face, just tears in the corner of her eyes, just like runs and grabs like hold of her and just starts like climbing up on her back. As soon as she gets up there, she's gonna look at the just stunned creatures, just waiting for everybody else to get on the back. As soon as they do, she's got something to say to them.
I'm flying up right next to her head. I don't have to worry about climbing.
Lulu, Rick, you getting on? Not Lulu, quite Rick. Lulu's right here.
Yeah, mounts
Yeah.
up.
I'm here.
Yeah, let's hop on.
Brakka just smiles, just pats her on the massive head that she has now. And just looks out to the devils and just says, it's just that easy for you too. It's a long journey. It's hard. It's painful. But it's worth it all the same. He just like looks at Lulu and just like, let's go.
I guess I'm in command now. Says one of them.
Says one of them as you fly off.
I shoot at that guy.
It's a lady, pretty lady. It's one of the Aranyas.
I shoot at that lady.
Okay,
Not our problem.
roll to hit. As you're flying out of there.
24 to hit.
24?
Yeah.
She attempts to parry it, but you still get her. Roll damage.
Just like, it's just going to be like that scene from the one episode of South Park. Not anymore, you're not. Not anymore, you're not. Not anymore, I'm not. Good grief.
14 piercing damage.
Okay. As you hit her with that, she angrily throws a lasso at you, and I need a dexterity saving throw as you're flying out of there.
Oh, FFS.
Well, I'm good at those, kind of. Not really. Still at the 19.
All right. You were able to miss the lasso as it goes at you, and then you guys are out of the flying fortress, and you're flying back towards the city of El Terrell with Zariel.
Yay.
And that is where we'll end it for tonight.
Much, much better place than we ended it last week.
Yes.
So, as we end it for tonight, does anyone have any plugs?
How about Lluis goes first? Sorry, Lluis.
You don't have to. I'm just saying if you do, you can. Right
No,
now.
yeah. I'm an artist, so I feed on people looking at my art. So go check it out. That's it.
Okay.
Check out the
Artist,
Patreon.
not a leech. Get that right.
No, you're an artist. You make a badass stuff. And sexy pinups.
Yeah.
Go check out the Twitter and the Patreon for you.
It's basically a leech. So yeah.
So, if that's all the plugs and such,
Don't
then
forget yours.
oh yeah, I was getting to mine.
Okay.
The
Just making sure.
I am available on Fiverr for any graphic design freelancing that you need. The 2 gigs that I have up on there right now is making book covers and doing freelance illustrations for your tabletop RPG characters. Might see a little bit of a delay on that because my day job is back now after the Backstreet Boys reunion tour is still going on, but we've opened up a little bit. But yeah, I'm available on that. If you follow me on Twitter, the link will be in my profile for my Fiverr account. This show and the rest of these shows are available on YouTube as well. All the playlists are down below if you're watching on Twitch. And I think next game will be Retroverse Vaccine, where I'll be playing Barkley, a skeleton man who likes basketball, and as we call it in Retroverse, sports ball. So we'll be having a sports ball game next session.
Sweet.
There.
On Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to that. And thank you everyone who watched or is watching, and we'll see you next week for possibly the final episode.
Up to hell we ride.
Bye, everybody.
Zariel,
Bye.
yay!
Bye.
Stay